Facebook groups that I have on Facebook. Okay, so we're going to kickstart. Just want to wait for it to kick off. Okay, Sonia from the Flooding Durban North, Early Education. Hi, Sonia. So nice to see you. I see Kuben Muley is a business consultant and a business coach. And my beautiful friend Eugene Haynes, all the way from Ireland, Dublin. So nice to see you, Eugene. You're looking snazzy. Chris, so voice, presentation skills coach, and speaker. Kriti, nice to see you all the way from Joburg. I'm a people and culture partner. Beautiful. Yasmin is a sales director and a life coach. Nice. So a few of you are facilitator, assessor for adult technical education. Nice to see you, Tanya Abrams. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just want to double check. It looks like we are live on it. Taryn, if you can just double check for me on Facebook, if you can see on the group if I'm live, but everything looks like it is going. Okay, so tonight's call, Empowerment Coaching Certification. So some of you are here tonight that are here for a reason, and something about what I put out was interested to you, and that you thought, I want to know more what Kobus is going to talk about. I'm going to talk about tonight. Now, most of you I see are in the coaching industry. I see Ashwan is all the way from India. Welcome, Ashwan. Is that you're all in the industry of where you are changing people's life, where you are impacting people's lives. And I foresee that the world is going to need more and more of us. And I want to talk to you about a few things. I'm going to share with you a few things that are powerful, that have had an impact on my life. But also I'm going to give you the opportunity to show you what you can add to your skills and to your toolbox to be able to assist and change people's lives even more. So tonight I have a co-presenter that is going to ask him to present and about some of the modalities that he does. His name is Renier Horn. So Renier is also in the call. While I'm doing this, let me just for now pin my video so that everyone can see me. Okay. Let me get my screen share going, ladies and gentlemen, then we can kick off. Okay, PowerPoint presentation. Let's go. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those who don't know, it's Kobus Visser in the chat box. Not those who do know me, those who don't know who I am, that is seeing me for the first time. If you can just drop in the chat box who I am, if you know who I am, so that I know, okay, there's a few people that doesn't know me. Otherwise, if nobody comments, then I have I'm actually happy that most of you know me. So if you can just drop that in the chat box and let me know. I've never heard of you, Kobus. This is the first time I'm here. Let me know in the chat box. So while I do, let me introduce you who I am. Here's a short video so that you can, while people are saying in there, I see Herman says, I am a Firewalker. Nice to see you, Herman. Okay, so let's look at the video of introduction so you guys sort of know who Kobus Visser is.
Got me transformed and got me walking on fire, and everything went kaboom. Change transformed.
And he's a millionaire speaker, bootcamp.
How many of you are willing to go for the impossible to reach the possible? Are you willing to take the steps? Are you willing to get that focused? What is your why? Your why. How many of you are willing to step up? But to step up and raise our standards, we need to challenge ourselves to get out of our comfort zone. And you believe that anything is possible.
He's just got a beautiful, beautiful heart. He's authentic. He's real. He wants to make the world a better place.
Just walked on fire. It was brilliant.
I'm actually stepping on fire. To anybody else who walked on coals, do it.
So as you know, I'm Kobus the Firewalker, and let me in the chat box know. I know, Herman, you are here. You've walked on fire just a week ago. Has anyone else in this group walked on fire? Let me know in the chat box if you are a firewalker, and if you have never walked on fire, let me know. Kobus, I don't even know what firewalking is. So let me know in the chat box. It's woohoo, 23 firewalks and 3 classworks. Ursula, definitely, yes, with you. Lebo says he's never walked on fire. Well, Lebo, you're going to hear about it tonight. And yeah, you know, so let's quickly start the presentation as you are commenting. I'm Kobus Visser, Kobus with a C, and I'm a motivational speaker from South Africa. Tanya Abrams says also not yet. Well, welcome, Tanya. You're ready to be empowered tonight. And I've spoken to in front of thousands of people, and I've also spoken online. I transform people's lives. I give them courage, and I inspire them to have hope for them for tomorrow. And my whole purpose is to impact this world, especially the leaders of the future. My big goal and the dream in this life is that one day I will impact world leaders. So that one day might be around the corner. So as you know, I'm known as Charismatic Kobus. My catchphrases that I live by is whatever it takes, live without regret, crush it, raise the standard. My favorite animal is lion. And my new hashtag for 2022 is magic. Because why? We want to create magic. We want to change people's life. We want to inspire people. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the world needs you. The world needs your mind. The world needs your charismatic charisma. The world needs your energy to go and change people's lives. So wherever you are, there's a reason why you are here tonight, because the fire has, in a sense, invited you to be here to come and listen about this talk. As you notice, I'm a South African. My English is very deliciously. I speak it since I've been twice, and I struggle with, sometimes they say my airtime runs out, but as long as you understand what I'm speaking with my English, that is what it's about. You see, ladies and gentlemen, we can have excuses in life, and I could have all the excuses. I was, first and foremost, I'm an introvert. I'm not used to speaking in front of people. When I grew up, I was this shy little boy. And my shyness started with me being a hemophiliac. And if you know, don't know what a hemophiliac is, let me know in the chat box. You don't know. I don't know, Kobus. I don't know what a hemophiliac is. And, you know, most people usually don't know what a hemophiliac is. Now, hemophiliac is a bleeder. It means my blood doesn't clot. So over the years, my joints basically have disintegrated. You know, I don't have elbows that can go straight, and I can't touch my shoulders. It's quite a challenge for me to use my joints, and the same with my ankles. Now, my story on the screen, you can see at one point in my life, I was in a wheelchair. On the left top, you know, when I had to walk with crutches, I created bruises underneath my elbow, arms. So it's quite a challenge for me in my life, was always health challenges. But this health challenges also impacted my mindset, you know, my mental health, because the thing is, I'm constantly in pain. I'm constantly in pain. I can't do physical work. I have to rely on other people to help me to get through my challenges in life. And every morning that I wake up, it takes me about an hour to get out of bed. Now, yes, ladies and gentlemen, your challenges might not be pain. Your challenges might be other things, because the thing is, we all have a story to tell, and the world needs to hear your story of inspiration, no matter where you are, your expertise, where you can impact people's lives. You see, I had to find other ways to do what I had to do, and I discovered something that changed my life. But before I get there, I want to show you this picture. This is on top of Kilimanjaro, the highest part of Africa, and the highest sunrise. And as you can see there, I was sitting watching the sunrise. Now I'm going to get back to the story and remember this picture, why this picture is important. Okay. Here I am on top of Mount Kilimanjaro. Now, when I started on this journey, I had to do it with my crutches. You see, in 2014, when I woke up one morning, I couldn't walk. It was quite a challenge for me to walk. And it was quite a challenge for me to move around. And the one thing that got me through this was something called a coach. Now, it was not only a coach, it was also a mentor. So one of my mentors, I don't know if you've ever heard of Tony Robbins. please let me know in the chat box if you've ever heard of Tony Robbins. So Tony Robbins was my mentor. And then I also had a life coach in my life. A guy at that time of my life was Francois, you know, had an impact on my life. And they all were in my life challenging me. Say, Kobus, you can either accept your reality. Now, Gandhi says one thing. Gandhi says that everything starts with a belief that becomes our thoughts, that becomes our words, that becomes our actions become our habits our values, and ultimately leads to our destiny. I could either accept that reality that I will never be able to walk again, or I could challenge that and say, but I can use this thing that was given to me, my mindset, and change it around. In 2014, 15, the doctor said, Kobus, you have to get both your ankles replaced. You have to get your elbows replaced. That is my future, to be without pain. I could either accept that reality or I could change it. You can, wherever you are, you can have either excuses why you are not where you are, and the world is not working out, the economy is not working out. But life is going to throw you challenges. You see, on my journey onto Kilimanjaro, before I reached the top, is at this point, I was giving up. I didn't have the energy to move forward and keep on going. But I was giving up at this moment. And the only thing that could get me going was either I'm going to go down or am I going to die, or I will not be able to go up. And so my friend there next to me looks at me and says, Kobus, man, let's go down to the mountain. You've pushed yourself far enough. Let's go down. I looked at him and I said, well, no, man, you go climb this mountain for us. We've come far. You know, at that moment, I was struggling to breathe. I was in physical pain. I couldn't put one step forward. And on the mountain, they say, Polly, you know, one more step, you know, slow. And at that moment, yeah, I wanted to give up. You see, the one thing that got me through there was all of my past experiences, my past learnings, my past things that I've gone through coaching, through learning coaching, through my experiences that I'm going to share with you in a few moments. And at that moment, he did something that I would love to teach you tonight, that I always teach to people. And he gave me a hug. Now, on this journey that I went on in my life, there's something I discovered called a fire hug. Now, if you don't know what a fire hug is, make notes. Wherever you are, take a pen and paper. And the first steps goes like this. One is, first you have to make eye contact, because the eyes are the windows of our soul. And it's also, before you hug a person, you have to look them in the eye and tell them and say to them, I see you, I acknowledge you, I am present with you in this moment. Sometimes we don't have to say the words, just by looking in someone's eyes, you do see it. You will notice here on my shirt, there's a heart, because everything is about heart. And whenever you hug someone, become consciously about how you are hugging someone. Most of us like to protect our hearts. So you, especially men, when they take hands, you will notice when they shoulder to shoulder that their hearts are far from each other. The reason is we've all been hurt in life, and especially in men, has been told, cowboys don't cry. You can't be vulnerable. You have to be strong. So next time when you hug someone, be consciously of where your head is going. Always go your head to the right so that your hearts can touch, because there's heart math and a heart science behind it. And, you know, ladies, you don't on Valentine's Day write I-L-O-V-E-U. You write I-Hartje. You know, the heart is powerful. The heart is passion. The heart is love. And then when you hug that person, the third step is you breathe in together. Let's all breathe in. Now, if you know the person, you do it for 20 seconds or longer, and the brain will release serotonin. And it's the most powerful thing. You know, I've taught this hug around the world. And the most amazing stories of the impact this have had on people. Now, just on my life, and let me tell you the story of where this hug empowered someone in my life. First, it empowered me there at that moment to push through, to get to the top. The other time that it did was when my oldest son was born. And I get to the hospital and I can't pick him up. At 4 years old, when we were expecting our second child, he would take a picture that he drew of two little babies. And he said, Dad, across over the one, he says, Dad, I don't want a little sister. I want a little brother that can play with me, because you can't. He got to me and he said, Dad, and I had a cross over me. And he said, Dad, you are dead to me. In his life, I was dead. Until that one moment, I learned the fire hug. And when I learned the fire hug and I started giving the hug, at that moment, it changed my relationship with my son. Why? Because when we moved to Pretoria, he drew another picture. And when he drew the other picture, there was him, his brother, the house that we're going to live in, the rooms that they're going to live in. And he got to me and there were no cross over me. And he said, Dad, you are alive. Every time that we see each other, he would make, Dad, look here, make eye contact, come closer. And he will give me the hug. As Sonia says, I love you. Yes, I hug you. But it's the most amazing experience to get and give a fire hug. Yes, Sonia, at least you've experienced the fire hug. Now, most of you wanted to know about what firewalking is. Well, firewalking is walking on red hot coals of 500 to 600 degrees Celsius of fire. Now, there's a saying, if you can do this, you can do anything. If you can do this, you can do anything. Because why? 500 to 600 degrees is so hot, right? That aluminium melts at 250. According to the medical books, at 150, you should go for third-degree burns to the hospital. And yet, if you can do this, you can do anything. Here I am in Spain, walking on 500 to 600 degrees Celsius as fire. Look how young and sexy I was. Huh? Don't you all agree? Different from the beard that I have at the moment. So the firewalking is where my life changed. That put me on the path that I am today. It had that impact on me. Now, there's a lot of lessons that we can learn from fire. But before we get there, let's go on. Let me show you the person that created firewalking. Now, we all know Tony Robbins does firewalking, right? He's actually made it world renowned. Now, he was one of the first coaches in the world, Tony Robbins. He brought firewalking to this stage, and he's transformed millions of people that walked over fire, and firewalking has changed their lives. But he went and he actually learned it from a guy by the name of Tolly Burkan. Now, Tolly Burkan is also a writer, and he's written an amazing book called Extreme Spirituality. And I want you to quickly hear, it is a little bit soft, so make sure that you are quiet. And this year, the person that actually created and started this move, and he actually got to a place where he saw someone walking on fire, and he thought, this is amazing. He walked, and it changed his life, and he decided to train people. So let's hear what Tolly has to say.
A friend of mine during the 1970s joined a Buddhist group and told me that they were firewalking every morning. And I had been curious about firewalking since I was 15 and met Kudabuks. And I said, well, you have to show me. And sure enough, before my very eyes, a fire was built and burned down and raked out, and my friend walked across the coals, barefooted, and in that moment I realized there's no trick to this. The whole thing is overcoming the fear of taking that first step. And I took off my shoes and socks and I walked across the fire, and without even thinking whether or not I had burned my feet, I turned around and walked back and crossed the coals a second time. And all of a sudden I realized, how many other things have I thought I can't do? How many other things have I believed are paranormal? How many other things have I excluded myself from? And I suddenly realized that what the firewalking was for me was a symbol. And I would think back to walking on that fire again and again and again, and I thought, how come this isn't a class? How come this isn't a seminar? This is so valuable. And so I was the first one to finally start advertising public classes. And what I realized was people were learning things in the firewalking class that they could immediately go home and apply to their lives. Whether we're talking about business or relationships or finances. There's something in learning how to walk across those coals that can transform a person's entire life. And it doesn't matter who that person is or what that person does. It obviously changed my life. And people all over the world now, over 4 million people, have walked on fire. Why? Because there's something incredibly valuable in this. Oprah Winfrey's done it. Bill Clinton's done it. Celebrities all around the world have done this. Not to mention everyday people. Everybody can receive value from firewalking, and there's no exceptions.
That is the person that started firewalking, and firewalking basically not only changed his life, but actually changed a lot of people. He was the one that started it. Now, as you can hear, you know, the most scariest part of a firewalk is that first step. How many times don't we do and take that first step because we are too scared? Because of that fear that keeps us back from taking action. And there's a few of you on this group, apart from Renier, I see Eugene is on here as well, that have come and experienced firewalking. He came all the way from Ireland to be here. Now, to give you my story, my story started a few years. I'm in personal development, and I've always loved personal development since 2012, because before that I didn't know what personal development was. It didn't exist in my life, and I was in the family business. I started being in family business that is furniture in Limpopo. So that was my idea. I wanted to build this family empire because my dad gave us the opportunity. And the reason for that is because I couldn't do physical labor. So I had to study marketing. I had to discover how to sell products because I had this one opportunity to build. Because, as a hemophiliac, that most of the time, there's sometimes in a week that 2 days I won't be able to move. So think about sick leave. My sick leave will run out in the first month, basically, in that constant excuses for the work. So it will be constantly a challenge. So that was my idea. That was my life until personal development came on my life. Now, amazing. I believe all of you would agree on this group that, because most of you I see are either a coach or a consultant or a trainer, and and you will agree with me if you can give me a high five in the box, or there's a place where you can do an emoji, where you can just clap hands or so, but you will know the power it did for you when it changed your life, the impact it had on you, because you are doing what you are doing because of that. I started doing it because of personal development. I was invited to my first firewalk where I walked on fire and I didn't get burned. Something just clicked in my mind that it said I needed to go learn this. I saved at that time, it almost cost me 100,000 Rand to go over to America with my flights and accommodation to be able to go learn to be a firewalker, to be a Tony Robbins, And I came back and I'm like, I need people to know this. I want to take people through this experience. And I believe when you started, you agree, you want to give people hope. You want to inspire them. You want to transform them, not only people, but if you're on businesses, you want to transform businesses. The world needs us. As when I started it and this journey as the firewalking master, is that nobody in the beginning wanted to do firewalking. But one thing that I realized in the last few months is that the world has changed, which you all agree. COVID has come in and has impacted the world so much, not only economy-wise for businesses, but also on the mental side. Mental health has taken as on the forefront now, where people have been impacted by mental health. Why? Because we have been disconnected from each other. Now we have to face our own challenges and we need help. And that's why I'm so glad that you are all here tonight, that we can talk about how we can raise the energy of the world, because the world needs you. The world needs us to go out and give them what they need, to inspire them, to empower them. Now, my journey started in 2011 when I walked on fire for the first time in November. That's when it started, my personal development journey, and then became a Firewalk instructor in 2012. I started doing my first life coaching course in 2012 in Spain. Can you believe that is 10 years ago, ladies and gentlemen? 10 years, the magic 10. I was still young. And 2013, I went to learn firewalking, became an executive. I studied NLP. And in 2014, on my birthday, the 2nd of November, I became a firewalking master. I'm so far the only firewalk master in Africa. And what that means is I've been certified as a firewalk master to be able to train other people to become a firewalking instructor as well. So let's quickly talk about tonight and talk about some things that have impacted my life, and hopefully you can take away and help you to break the boundaries, not of you, but also of your clients, overcome mental roadblocks, stop with physical excuses, break the emotional shackles, and assist me to assist you to reach your full potential, but also to reach the full potential of your clients and the people that you're going to interact with. The first question I always want to ask people, are you on the cause side of life or on the effect side of life? Let me know in the chat box. I know what you all will answer, but let's be answering now. What do you think the world is living at? Are they living in the cause side or effect side? So quickly let me know there. Not about where you are, but where you think the world is living at the moment. The people that you are interacting with in your life. Quickly let me know in the chat box. Are they in the cause? Let's look at what is the cause side. I influence and take responsibility for everything that happens in my life, or on the effect side, my life is random. I can't affect or control what others say or do. There's a recession on which I can't control. There's no way I can control what others say or do. Crap has happened to me. That was not my fault. Everyone says, Sonia, mine is me. I'm the cause side. Friends are on the effect side. Herman is on the cause side. The world is shell-shocked. Yes, Eugene, I totally agree with you. I run my business the way I want to. What is a recession? That's where coaches comes in. I am responsible for maintaining the relationship in my life. I accept that I have had an influence over everything that has happened in my life and my business. You see, everyone is living the world currently on the effect side. Just go out and listen to the conversations people are talking. What they are saying, always remember Gandhi's quote, whatever they are saying, it's life and death, right? But it comes from their beliefs and their thoughts. Whatever they're thinking, they are saying. And remember, the more they say it, the more they act it out, the more that it is their reality. It's time for us to learn how we can empower people to start living on the core side of the life and the world. So I've learned this from John Keogh, and I just want to run through it. And I want you're welcome to take a screenshot. But one thing about it is the 7 laws of the mind is empowered. And one thing is, and this is why I bring it in, is because of the Gandhi quote as well, that thoughts are real forces. That thoughts are so powerful that we never realize that we don't take control of our minds. That is the first place that we need to take control of. Yasmin says, yes, mind power. Mind power is where it starts. Now, if we don't know and how to train our mind, how to influence our mind. Now, this is not only mind power. How many of you know what NLP is? That is also where NLP comes, the neuro-linguistic programming of the mind. So thoughts are real forces. The mind is sending and the receiving station of thought. Whatever you send out to the world, you are getting back. You know, someone said, if you think about your business at the moment, your business, let me get, I actually sent a WhatsApp to someone. It was so powerful that it actually is amazing. Now, there's 2 sayings. The one is that your life, your business is an extension of where you are at the moment. So if your business is in a bad place, you need to start thinking about where you are in your life. So let me quickly read you this one quote that is so powerful. Let me just check in my WhatsApps. I've just sent it to someone. And it says, business problems, ladies and gentlemen, are personal problems in disguise. And it was said by Michael Port, business problems. So problems are personal problems in disguise. How powerful is that? So let's quickly look at law of attraction. Now, if I pull back a little bit, let's think about firewalking for now. Thoughts are real forces, right? If you think fire is going to burn you, ladies and gentlemen, what is going to happen? You're going to get burned, right? The mind is a sending and receiving station of thought. So your mind is sending basically the thought process to the coals. Like, here I'm coming. I want to be burned, because you are thinking about not getting burned. And that's the other thing, is the mind doesn't process negative. So by saying, I don't want to get burned, the don't gets deleted. So the don't falls away, and guess what is going to happen? You're going to get burned. So law of attraction. Thoughts that are emotionalized become magnetized and attract similar and like-minded thoughts. So again, this is why firewalking is so powerful. Everything like what we're talking about becomes reality when you experience walking on fire. Law of control. We are forever experiencing thoughts, but we have the power and ability to either entertain these thoughts or dismiss them. This is where not only firewalking, but like walking on broken glass, and I will show you a few photos and videos about it, is so powerful to assist your participants, your clients, the people that you work with, to be able to change their life through an activity. You see, the world has become in this place where our span of remembering things, our span to put knowledge in has become shortened. And the thing is, the only way and the fastest way for me and my belief in my world that I've experienced in the past few years is to take people through an experiential experience. Now, one thing is my friend Chris is on here as well, and he teaches people the power of the voice. But, you know, he can give you all of the theory, but if he doesn't, you know, I think the one thing that was power about his course is you had to put the theory on the side. He took you through step by step to be able to empower your voice, to project your voice. And guess what? It is so powerful that I still use those techniques that he taught me. That when, like last night, I was doing an event for 80 people, and I get in front of the stage, and the mic does not work. Chris, I want to thank you for helping me to take control of my voice, and I could project it where suddenly people became silent and they were shocked that I had a voice like this. So powerful of the voice. Law of insertion. We have the power and ability to insert any thought of any type into our minds. Now, this is where the power of firewalking is. By inserting, so when we walk on fire, the one lesson that we do is that we all chant ice cold. So we insert a new thought in our mind, because the thing is, we say ice cold, what do we hear? Ice cold. What are we thinking? Ice cold. What can we visualize? Us. What is the experience we can have walking over the fire? We can experience an ice cold fire. The inner and outer worlds are connected. Now, here's a nice thing about walking on fire. Sometimes the fire likes to give you a kiss. It's a hotspot, basically. And what that is when you don't respect the fire and you walk in ego, the fire will always give you a kiss back and bring humbleness to you. And all that you have to do is to say, sorry, fire, and then you walk again and then you give the kiss back. So the next one is the person with the most flexibility of behavior has the most influence and controls over the system. The person with the most flexibility controls the situation. And that's the other thing, you know, when I do firewalking, you know, in the past, I used to have a whip, you know, and I'm like, you guys are going to walk. I'm not scared to use this. But over time, I realized it's not what it is about. It's not either if you walk or not walk, because even if you don't walk, you can learn as much as the same as other people walking. And the lesson is that you don't have to walk over the fire. You can walk next to the fire as long as you are moving forward, or you can be stuck and stay behind. And that is where the power is, where I tell people is, even if you don't want to walk, you can walk next to the fire and you can still get to the other side. But the choice is yours. And that is where the power is, where you give people that power and then say, it's time for you to take your power back and not be held back and say, I'm willing to step forward and change my life. The world needs new things. You know, one thing that I realized is that, you know, lately is that companies want people to do firewalking. And the reason for that is they don't want to do paintball shooting, drumming. Why? Because there's something more needs. Because people are, I spoke to someone at Discovery the other day. They sent, was it Discovery? Was it Anglo? I think it was Anglo. Sorry, I've been speaking to a few now. It was Anglo now in the last year. They sent their top management on a retreat. Listen to that. Why? Because they were struggling mentally. They have lived in anxiety. They couldn't go on more. They were exhausted. So the company decided, and they sent them on a week-long retreat. So the world is getting there where it's not team building anymore, but they can send people on the retreat to be able to empower them. I hope you are enjoying so far. Let me quickly talk about the one thing about that fire has taught me, and it's something called having an agile mindset. For those who don't know what agile is, I also didn't know at one point. I had to Google it. Okay, agile means adaptable, means flexible, means willing to be able to change. So the one thing is, always be consistent. Your best self is waiting for you on the other side of dedicated consistency. Why? If you want to get to the other side, you have to be consistent, taking one step after the other to be able to get to the other side. You have to believe in yourself. Self-belief is the muscle that gets stronger the more you use it. And that's what I love about the activities that we do, like the firewalking and the glass walking, is why it allows the participant, the person, and some of you have experienced it, to believe in yourself. Because the thing is, before that, before I experienced firewalking, I had no belief. I wanted to give up on life. I wanted to end my life because I saw no hope. And yet the moment I walked on that fire, I had a new igniting. I became like the phoenix out of the ashes. I emerged as a new person that was stronger and more confident. You see, I then understood that my potential is limitless. There's no telling how far you can go and how much you can achieve, because if you can walk on fire, you can do anything. And that's what it is. You are limitless. You can do, even times are tough, you can still get out of it and you can reach your potential. Next is know that nothing is unsolvable. Every problem you encounter can be solved with a step-by-step solution. And that's what I love about glass walking. It is a step-by-step. Firewalking is just giving the next step and the next step to be able to get it. It teaches you to move forward. And that's one thing that I learned on my journey on Kilimanjaro. It's poly. One more step, slow, just move forward. No matter how tough life can become, we just need to move forward. How many of you on this group, and I know there's a few of you, that became coaches and consultants, and then when times got tough, you gave up and you went and found a job? I know, I was there as well. To be honest, a few months ago, I was there. Why? Because my one big contract that I had, I trained schools in the Western Cape. Last year, I flew about 56 times, impacting schools in the Western Cape, where we did a change mindset program, and we impacted the teachers because, why? They needed help. They were all struggling. And my contract came to an end because they have to retender, etc. And suddenly I had nothing. You know, that kept me so busy that suddenly things changed. And guess what? That you know, we always get tested. Then someone came and offered me a job, and it put me in a place where, am I going to give up on my dreams, or am I going to take a job? See, I could either take that as a reality and say, that looks like the easy way out. You know, I'm going to go work for someone else. I'm going to make them richer, but at least I will have an income per month again that is consistent, and I will probably be happy, you know. And I was looking at it, like, the offer was good. You know, it was like 80K a month, you know, plus. And I'm like, damn, this is good. I can take this. But the thing is, I would have to give up my purpose, my destiny, everything that I've worked hard for the past few years. Could either accept that as my reality. See, know that nothing is unsolvable. I had to work through this process to find the solutions. And this is what I learned through glass walking. Person with the most flexibility controls the situation. Mindset. Let's go sleep over it. Started sharing this with friends. You know, my support, surround yourself with support. Your relationship are a reflection of the way you treat yourself. And I have the most amazing mentors and friends. And I went to them and I started sharing with them. And we looked at everything. And that is where the power of a mastermind, this power of a group is. I had this most amazing group the last 2 years called the Euro Experts Academy. And Diana is one of them that was on there. That was an impact where we got together every 2 weeks, where we would share and learn and grow. And through that process, it introduced me to new friends, and I would talk to them, and we would go through this process. So my support system sat down with me and says, Kobus, do you really want to give up everything? He said, I had to have patience because this is the next thing. Approach yourself with patience. Become your best self is a lifelong process. See, all of these challenges and things that we go through is only there to make us stronger. And while it makes us stronger, it allows us to learn, to know what we need to do. How badly do we want it? How badly, where you are sitting, do you want to change the world? Let me know in the group. I know some of you are consultants and trainers and business coaches and coaches. How badly do you want to change people's lives? What is your purpose? I know some of you know what your purpose is. And if you don't know your purpose, let me know. Kobus, I don't know my purpose. Why are you doing what you're doing? You see, I had to decide. I told them, I'm not going to give you a decision. I'm going to sleep over it. And then 7, be content with who you are. Perfection is not the goal, but well-being is. I sat down and I said, I'm content where I am now. I'm not going to be perfect, and I've done probably not perfect where I am, but my well-being is much more important for me, my destiny, my mindset, no matter how tough it gets. See, I'm a man of faith, and I do believe in my God. And I told him, God, I'm going to believe you gave me this purpose. Isaiah 43 that says you will walk through fire and you will not get burned because I am with thee. And as I looked at that, I said, God, send me. I will do the work. You see, we are sometimes as farmers. First, we need to prepare the ground. We don't see a harvest. We work that ground and we don't see anything. But we have to have the faith. Then we can't expect the harvest if we don't plant the seeds. So the next step, we have to plant the seeds. We work hard. It's tough in the sun. Have you ever seen a farmer in the sun planting seeds? It's hard work. After you've planted your seeds, you can't just sit back and think it's going to grow. You have to go and put nurture it, and you have to water it, and you have to put things, and you have to have faith that God will send the rain. And when the rain comes, it will grow. And if you've planted your seed in the right soil, it will grow and it will become a harvest. And when you are ready, you will harvest. Are you in a season of winter or are you in a season of summer? Now, don't think about that. We are in winter now because in Europe, they're going into summer. But where are you currently in your business and in your life? Are you in a season of winter or are you in a season of summer where it's ready to plant, it's ready to harvest? Or are you in a season of winter where you have to look after your resources and get through and prepare for the summer that is coming? Diana says, he is in spring. I love it. I'm enjoying sharing my positive experiences to choose those who hear, not just listen. Yes, Eugene, I love that. And I'm going to ask you soon to share a little bit, Eugene, so don't go anywhere. Herman says he is in winter. Yasmin says he's in winter. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Before I talk about this, I want to show you something else. I just want to get my screen on something else where I want to show you, the world needs us. The world is going to need the change. So if I just share screen again, Sonia says she's in the winter at the moment. So thank you for your honesty. Sonia, I appreciate that. Okay, so let me share with you a little bit of screen. Okay, literally walking through fire may cure depression. Think about it. You can go out and you can cure depression. I'm going to be honest with all of you. It's between all of us. And they say sometimes you have to be open. So the last 2 months I've been in, I've been in a hole. I sort of went down. I wasn't feeling good. Things weren't working out. So as life is a roller coaster, it's ups and downs. But the thing is, someone said to me, it's okay if you go up and down, as long as the trajectory are upward. So you can go up, down, up, down, up, down. So it's okay. But the thing is, my down just didn't want to go away. I was just not getting out of it, applying my tools. And so I made sure that I organized a firewalk, and I told my assistant that and organize a fire. I don't care if one person shows up. I'm going to walk on fire. So the 2nd of April, we had our firewalk, and amazingly, it became part of the World International Firewalk Day. And that night I walked on fire, and it recharged me. It empowered me. So for those who haven't walked on fire for a long time, you have to come. We need to walk on fire again. And it recharged. It took those feelings of depression away. Now, something else happened that night as well. And I need to share with you this. So as I'm recharged and I'm energized and I see the people in front of me change, and Herman was there as well, and that feeling of transformation, it was so powerful. I'm actually getting goosebumps. There was a little boy by the name of Tian Visser, my oldest son. Now, just to give you an idea, I have two sons, Tian and Vian. And Vian walked the first time on fire when he was 2 years old. So think about it. He's one of the youngest firewalkers in the world, if not the youngest at 2 years old. And he's walked now more than 20 times. That night, he decides he doesn't want to walk. My other son is there. He is now 12 years old. He is like as tall as me. He's like becoming a young gentleman. His shoe size is bigger than me. He's a size 12. So he has more feet on the fire. But he's never walked on fire. You see, when he started his journey, and in 2013, when I did firewalking for the first time in South Africa, he was about 4 or 5 years old, right? 4 years old. And his grandmother asked him and says, so Tian, are you going to walk on fire? And he's like, yes, I'm going to do it. And he's very close to his grandmother. And his grandmother said, no, you can't go and walk on fire. You're going to get burned. And the night of the firewalk comes. He stands in front of the fire. He's ready to walk. And he decides not to. And no matter what, trying to him, he says, no. Oma says, I'm going to get burned. It stuck into his head. Every time we would have a firewalk, he would step up and be ready to walk on fire. And then that word would come up. But Oma said, I'm going to get burned. So do you see how powerful is the words that we imprint on our minds? How powerful is the words that we imprint in other people, in our kids? It's so strong, ladies and gentlemen. It took 8 years for him to break through that limiting belief and walk on fire for the first time. And he did it last week. He came off the fire. He says, Dad, look here. I'm vibrating. You're like, whoa, what is this, Dad? What is this? And I'm like, you are letting go of the shackles that are keeping you behind, that are stopping you from living the life, my son. And he goes around and he walks again over that fire. And he comes up and he's like, Dad, gives me a hug. It's like, wow, Dad, this is awesome. I can't believe I waited so long to walk on fire. It wasn't so bad. He says, like, it's ice cold. And I'm like, yes, my son. He says, but I always had this idea that fire burns. And he cries. And funny enough, you know, as we put fire on it, some of the coals falls next to on the tar and not on the grass. And so he steps on one piece of coal, right? And he says, ouch. And he looks at me, he says, Dad, did you see that? That one coal just burned me. Or, well, kissed me. And the rest in the fire didn't. But how's this possible, Dad? Said my son, do you see the power of the mind? Sometimes there's those little things that are planted in our mind that we think is not going to impact us. Is actually the things that is holding us back from living to our true potential. Now, learning at that age of 12 years old, I wish I had, because my life would be different. You see, when he was 9, he asked me, Dad, do you want me to do the same things as you're doing when I'm older? And I said to my son, I would love it. You know, the family business, the legacy can build up. And he looks at me and he says, and little Vian, I said, even more amazing. But he looks at me and he says, Dad, but do you know that you always tell that we are here for ourselves? I'm here, Dad, to live what my heart tells me to live. That is my destiny. And said, my son, whatever you want to do, whatever your heart tells you, that is what you're going to do. Isn't that powerful? You see, firewalking literally cures depression. Now, you can go Google, you know, I'm not going to read for you. I just want to show you that I'm talking about firewalking because firewalking is amazing and has impacted my life. But let's quickly look at a few things, you know, for those are firewalks, corporates. Here's something, corporates love firewalking and team building. But let's see what else is there. I'm just going to go through the future of coaching. You know, coaching is important. So ladies and gentlemen, for those who aren't the coach yet, just go Google. I just want to see, I just had 1 or 2 slides here. free trends to watch, increased for coaching demand. The world has seen an increase of 40% that says they're going to want coaching. Are you a coach? The world needs you. In the United States alone, it's $20 billion. Can you believe that? You know, if you are not a coach, then it's time for you to become a coach. Look at that, 20 billion in the 3 years. And this is just in the United States. Coaching, there's opportunities. Now, I noticed some of you, like Chris, is a vocal coach, so it's a total different coach. So niche coaches will be important. Okay. I just want to show to you, you know, the importance of having a coach and being a coach. And this is why, yeah, I want to show you and talk to you about the empowerment coaching certification. It's time to empower people. You know, does life coaching help? Yes, the results of using a life coach. I know coaching has changed my life. Now, just for you to know, I've just hired my most expensive coach in my life. Okay. It is it's one, yeah, it's about 6 zeros. Okay. Yeah. Okay, it's scary if I think about it. Results of using a life coach. 90% of clients who hire a coach are satisfied, would hire a coach again. You see, using a life coach, 80% of self-confidence improved, 73% of their relationships improved, 72% of their communication skills. Chris, that is where you fall. 67% improve their work-life balance. The world needs coaches, right? But the thing is, there is so many life coaching and NLP coaches in the world. Everyone is doing the same thing. If you ask someone, what do you do? I do life coaching. Oh, that is so cool. What do you life coach on? Everything from relationships to teens to problems, depression. See, everyone is a life coach. And then you ask them, yeah, I have a degree. But the thing is, people, you need to coach what your strengths are. So I don't do everything. I don't do personal issues. I don't do trauma. I don't do relationship. Why? Because I'm divorced. Okay. So I even need a coach for relationships. So, okay. So I need someone there. I need to be maybe a kids coach because I need to understand my kids because they are amazing, strong-willed, especially the young one that has walked on fire. He believes he can do everything. So, you know, the reasons to get a life coach is to achieve goals, to find happiness, to find life purpose, to do what they love, to decide and change career, to be more confident. So as you all can notice, I'm not going to go into this because some of you are already coaches. What I want to get to is that the world needs you. The world needs a coach, but I want to talk to you about empowerment coaching, empowerment certification. I want to talk to you about an opportunity, if that is okay with everyone. You know, I want you to look at this as an opportunity. The reason why you are tonight is out of the 100 people that registered, you are here tonight because the fire made it opportunity. The fire has invited you to be here tonight. So what it's called is the Empowerment Coach and Firewalk Instructor Certification. Now, I didn't change the date, but I still live in 2021. And the retreat. Just to show you, my first Firewalk certificate I got in 2012, 17th of November, just after my birthday. I became an executive Firewalk instructor in 2013. And in 2014, I became a master Firewalk instructor. So who is this for? Now, this is for anyone on this group. You know, if you are a speaker, if you are a corporate trainer, if you are a life coach, and even not only that, even if you are a CEO or exceptional individual, like my friend on here, Eugene Haynes, he came just to the one last year, and he's a CEO of one of the biggest companies in Europe. Forgot the name now. It's about renting out cars. Sorry, Eugene, my friend, I forgot about what it is, but he is a CEO and he came to do this. So becoming a Firewalk instructor is joining the same ranks as Tony Robbins, Andy Harrington, Edwin Gaines, T.R. Eckhart. This is if you already have programs. This is to supercharge what you do in your programs and empower you to stand out because there's not a lot of people doing this. To have a unique selling point to be able to help people. I've trained since 2013 in South Africa. October 2013 was my first one, fit retreat. And I've now over 120 instructors that I've trained already in South Africa. So whether you're a speaker, corporate, individual, a trainer, or life coach, you need to hear. Now, here's a photo of my youngest son walking on fire for the first time. Look at that, 2 years old. Well, now, why is the coals gray, you might ask? Well, they are gray because it's the light of the camera is taking the red away. You know, for those who have walked on fire at night, you know that you will see the red. Now, here I am with Shaping Your Destiny with Robin Banks, over 100 people walking on fire, you know, and, you know, like last night, also had 85 people experience a firewalk. Here I am at Monte Casino. Look how beautiful setup that is. And you might ask, Cobus, can anyone do this? Well, here's a friend of mine that is also a speaker, and Tyrone, and he is he's disabled. He can't walk, right? And look at that. There's no excuses. I asked him, what is your feet now? And he says, this, Cobus. And I said to him, well, let's use your hands. Let's use your hands. And you walked on fire. What is your excuse for not walking? So what is the Empowerment Coaching Certification? It's a workshop where we're going to give you team building activities where you can be able to supercharge your program. We can teach you and give you courses on goal setting, eliminating limiting beliefs, breakthrough, overcoming obstacles, the power of focus, and also how to create your own reality workshop. Lion walking is an asterisk. If that is possible, we do lion walking. Otherwise, we have an elephant experience or any other experience that is possible. Firewalking, you learn how to do your own firewalks. You walk on broken glass. We teach you how to use activities like port breaking, brick breaking, arrow breaking, bending steel with your throat, breath work, low ropes, labyrinth. And I'm going to ask Renier soon to open his mic and share as well. We have had people in South Africa all the way from India, Uganda, even Ireland now, USA, SA, Netherlands, that usually comes. You know, it's a fun experience. So you need to be a wine drinker as well, because we do some wine drinking, and we do it the Bushveld way. And the nice thing about this is you get taught. You walk every night on fire and you have an experience. There is Andrea breaking a board. And the nice thing is, ladies and gentlemen, the power of breaking a board is about goal setting, is focusing on what you want and not focusing on what you don't want and breaking through it. So you actually focus past the board. Now, this is powerful for goal setting. This is powerful for breakthroughs where people have to break a board of their hand. Now, usually in karate, you have to be a black belt to be able to break a board. Now, we teach you in an hour to break a board, and it is amazing, the power. One of my friends, firewalking didn't do anything. Her biggest challenge and fear was breaking the board, because the first times he did it, he couldn't break it. It took her 2 years to overcome that mental experience of breaking a board. Until today, the biggest for her breakthrough was breaking a board. Firewalking, she says, is easy, Cobus, but that challenged me. The other thing is bending steel with your throat. Now, if you take your finger and you put it in that soft spot, you know, that trachea, you put a 10-inch steel, there's reinforced rebar they use in construction, and you learn how to do that. This is amazing for relationships. I did this with a rugby team called the Southern Kings. So they were just about to play the Sharks in 2017 in the stadium. The stadium had about 45,000 people already booked. It was at that time a full stadium, and people were looking, and I told them it's going to be their fullest stadium because they were playing the Sharks. They were actually doing good. And so in the stadium, we had them all lined up with the bars on their neck, and all that I had them focus on each other. No matter what's happening around you, you have to have your focus on each other. And then they went and they bent the bar. And that same evening, they went out and they beat the Sharks with, I think, 2 points. So, you know, they turned it around by just an activity like this. Then there's something called walking on broken glass. The walking on broken glass teaches you a lot of lessons. So listen to the lessons in life that have helped me. So the first lesson is when you step on the glass, you don't put your whole weight on it. You put it a little bit and you feel the strength of your the glass. You don't wipe your feet. And it also teaches us to be flexible. So if you don't feel comfortable, you lift your foot and you put it somewhere else, and then you put your weight on it. As you walk, you will see the guy next to him with his hand out on his elbow. You know, that also teaches us that if we lose balance, because the thing is, it's quite difficult to balance yourself on the glass. And that is something that I learned the last 2 months, is it's okay to reach out. It's okay to ask for help and say, guys, I can't do this. I need help. And as you would walk the glass, before you get off, you see someone on the ground. The person walking lifts their feet, and that person wipes it down. So also teach us when you are in the limelight, remember, don't forget about the people that are looking after your feet, that you don't get hurt. So don't forget about them, because there's a point where you're going to climb up and you're going to go down, and you will have to serve someone else on their journey to success. So do you see the power of the lessons we can learn? There's multiple lessons. This is just one of the lessons one can take out from an activity like walking on broken glass. Here's some of the other activities that we do for fun that we learn. As you can see here, someone falling backwards, an amazing exercise. Something else just special for Africa is called the shit spit. I don't know if you know what it is, but it's about letting go of the shit in your life that is keeping you back from your full potential. Then we have some spiritual experience. One is called the Labyrinth. I just want to see Labyrinth walk. And so before I go, the one thing is we do a breath work. Now, on the fit, we have a spiritual day. And on the spiritual day, there is Labyrinth. Now, I'm not going to go into it, but Renier, are you there? Renier, let's ask him to unmute. Renier.
Trying to get my screen back.
So for those who don't know, Renier is one of the facilitators. He's a Reiki master, he's a shaman, he's a guru, he will introduce himself, but Renier is one of them. He facilitates our spiritual day. We also do a sweat lodge on that day as well, and a circle firewalk. So Renier, if you can just, while we're on here, just first tell us what you do on the fit, what are the days about. And then after that, then you introduce yourself and your experience and what the fit has done for you.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Renier Hoon. I'm an alchemist, healer, and mentor. And I'm part of the fit, the training, where I help with the spiritual side of things to facilitate the connection with our spiritual side, like the Labyrinth. We do the sweat lodge, we do breath working and meditation, tai chi, just to get people to connect with who they are in the deeper sense of their being. And yes, so that's my work there, to make sure that you have a thoughtful experience. So yes, Cobus.
Yeah, Renier, tell us quickly, what is the spiritual day about?
Yeah.
What are some of the lessons? If you can say lessons for people tonight to take away, what do you think are some of the lessons that you've learned on this day, that even if they don't come, that they can apply, that will help them going forward?
Will help them, yes. Thank you, Cobus. If I look at my own life, I started my journey a while ago, and I was diagnosed with a congenital heart disease. And for me, the option for surgery was not available. They just cannot, and the option of surgery is just life-threatening. And I had to either face the fact that I could either end up with a pacemaker, maybe die of a heart attack early in my life. And I just said, no. I started on this journey. I studied theology. I became a minister. I planted a couple of churches, and then started the journey of life coaching, NLP. And then I met this crazy friend called Cobus Visser, who invited me to a firewalk. And I remember one night standing in front of the fire, and I thought to myself, what normal person would be crazy enough to walk over 600 degrees of coals or the fire beds? And then I realized that I'm not normal. And I did the firewalk, and when I reached the other side, I realized, but if I can do this, I can do anything. Exactly what Cobus told you guys. And walked again and again and again, and I became mad, I fell madly in love with fire. And I thought to myself, but maybe even I can, because one thing that we do also on the Firewalks is we set intentions, as Cobus said. We ask for ice cold healing fire. And I thought with other people, setting intentions for a better job, for opportunities, maybe I can set an intention for healing and of my heart condition. And the more I walked in fire, the more this became real. And I realized one day in my life that, guess what? I do not have the symptoms anymore. And I got tested, and it just showed that a miracle took place. Because I kept on setting my goals on this, and I kept on thinking and walking on the fire that this, if I can do this, maybe anything is real, anything can happen, anything is possible. So in this journey with the fire, I also started with meditation. I started with learning things like Tai Chi, Qigong, and as well as a healing modality named Reiki. And my life was in that stage, I thought Reiki is just about healing. And the more I learned about it, I realized it's actually about self-love, realizing and empowering yourself, finding yourself. And I brought this whole facet to the fit itself, the training that Cobus is telling you guys about. And that is about realizing on the outward experience how awesome you are, how powerful you are, how you can do the impossible, and also realizing on the inside how powerful you are and what is possible. If you look at the Labyrinth, Cobus, if you can maybe just go one back. The Labyrinth symbolizes our walk in life. And just when you think the path, because the idea of this labyrinth is to reach the center. Just before you reach the center, the road twists and goes the other way, and you have to do something again. And something specific that we learn by walking this labyrinth is that the moment a change happens in your life, what is the lessons that you learn? Am I going to mope and say, oh, life gave me a curveball, and now my goal or my dream, my vision is no longer in vision? Or am I going to continue and take the learning, experience the learning, take it to heart, and continue? And eventually, you will reach that goal. You will reach that centerpiece where. And what is beautiful of this labyrinth is that when you reach the center, you actually watch the sun as it sets on the Bushveld skyline. And I've heard responses from attendees that walk this that say the moment they stepped in, it was as if God is standing there, or they felt the presence of a divine telling them, it's okay, I'm with you, walk this road. Although you walk through the fire, you will not burn because I'm with you. Although you go through water, you will not drown because I'm with you. So it's a powerful experience. If possible, if it's allowed, we walk with lions, and that bond that you have with this animal that is able to give one stroke and kill you, but you go there in submission and with peace, and you find that you walk with this majestic animal, and you feel there's just no way to express it or to give an I can't explain it. I mean, you just need to walk with it and feel this power. if not the lions, if you walk with the elephants, it's this healing taking place, because at the end of the day, love, self-love brings wholeness. Wholeness brings balance. Balance brings well-being, and well-being is that freedom of disease. The moment medical professions say, most of them agree that more than 90% of all diseases and sicknesses are psychosomatic, meaning that it starts right here in the head. And once you can clear that, once you can believe that I can do anything, once you faced your fears, faced the fire, faced the lions, faced, like on the picture, dot arting. Some people are very scared of painting, because, you know, it's not that we are, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, but that we are powerful beyond measure. And once you realize the uniqueness, the beauty that is you, the power that is you, you live a life of destiny, a life of wellness, fullness. And that's some of the stuff I've learned through attending the FIT, as well as facilitating, as being one of the facilitators, helping people realize energy, realizing oneness, realizing that we are part of this world, part of this this beauty called creation. And I always have this prayer that I say, a great spirit, you that have 1,000 names and yet cannot be named, thank you for allowing us to dance and sing the song of life. And thank you, Kobus. I'm done speaking.
Thank you, Renier. And that is about the journey. The whole time that we are doing this is about body, mind, spirit, and your journey out there. Yes, Nozipo from Lesotho breaking a brick with her hands, something that seems impossible to do, that people will wait, you think the board break is something that's crazy. But, I want you to think about, the world needs this empowerment where people can start believing in themselves again, that they can believe in something greater up there, that they can be awakened, that people's consciousness can be awakened. So that this journey can set you apart from the rest of the world. Now, one thing, I'm not selling to you, I'm not going to give, only for those who are interested to reach out to us, but I want to share with you this journey, because this journey impacted not only Renier's life, but my life as well, is that, you're going to be taught, you can come and learn how to do your own firewalks, how to do it safely, and then go out and do it and transform people's lives. Now, for those who have been in firewalks, this can set you apart from all of the NLP life coaches out there. And, instead of, I'm just a life coach. No, I'm a transformational coach. No, I'm a peak performance coach. No, I'm an expert in inspiring people. You can take people through experiences. You can tell people, oh, you struggle with your voice. Well, let's do something called an arrow break. Let's break an arrow and realize the power of your voice if you had the thought of losing it. Now, there's some of the experiences. Now, here's an example, that I want to share how powerful is the one night that we do, is that we walk 108 times around the fire. It's built in a circle, and you walk 108 times. So you also get, Renier, can you show your hand? You get mala beads, before you walk on your fire. It's a special night. All of the firewalkers always use that mala beads. It becomes a special thing for them. And, the last walk is in silent, and that is about a 40-foot firewalk where you walk until the end, and then everyone hugs each other, and it becomes a magical experience. I tell you, you come away from that experience and your life is never the same. And if the fire is calling you tonight, please look at this, that you are here for a reason seeing this. I'm not here to say you must come do it. I can only take a few people, and if this journey is calling you to come, then the time is yours to become part of the red tribe, the fire tribe, and come and join us. You can see everyone, don't live with regret. You are enough, you are strong enough, and you can be able to do it. I'm not going to go through. I just want to say Emma Button, the world around people has walked. maybe you are the next person that needs to empower the people. I'm not going to show you the things. I want to get to a point where, I know we've been long on this call and I want to finish up, but you can literally, as you can see on the picture, change and transform people's life, inspire people to take it to the next level. There's something magic when you have an impact on people's lives. And like I said, the world doesn't need normal team building anymore. They need extreme stuff that will pull people out, that will transform them, that will get them to be engaged, that will help them overcome their mental health challenges and depression, etc. Okay, so as you can see, another person walked on his hand. I just want to see if there's anything else I want to share with you. I think for now, if you are feeling invited. So if there's any questions, please put in the chat box while I'm going to play you this video. We had a real Maori coming all the way from New Zealand. And while we were preparing for the fire, maybe we can hear a little bit, but we did the haka. It was the most memorable experience of my life. So let's just listen.
Kia rite, kia mau, ringa ringa pakia, wai takuia, kwaki o ne hoki, o kwaki o ne hoki, o kamate kore, o kamate kore, o te tangata, na itiki. Pititer, oh huba, le pititera.
It was amazing. Eugene, you're on this call. Eugene, are you available? Can I ask you, you came all the way from Ireland and, you asked me, Kobus, can I come? And I said, it's up to you. Just want to see where you are, and then just maybe give us your feedback. How was the experience for you? What did it do for you? Welcome to be on this call, Eugene. Everyone just give a round of applause for Eugene Haynes, the top CEO of a big company in Ireland, and it's an honor to have him here. And Eugene is only 46 for those ladies that are interested. He's young, full of life. Hello, my friend.
Whoa, you are a bundle of laughs. Well, you know the full story because I went a great time to do a testimony. There was originally 3 pages and I boiled it down to a page and a half that gave it very precisely what my experience was leading up to and the Firewalk itself, the retreat, as I would call it. I escaped the matrix in Ireland to go down to South Africa to meet you, who I'd spoken to in around June. In August, you said, you're coming on down. I said, for what? And you said, well, Firewalking. And I said, you must be mad. Anyway, I placed my trust in you and I have no regrets. I went down there and I let the hair down in having great fun. I made fun of just about everything you did and sort of made a twit of myself. And I feel I added an extra dimension to the group, as in it wasn't too serious. And I got through most, if not indeed all of the challenges in a somewhat doubtful, just say, I'd like to go back there next October just to prove to myself that I did it last October. There's that sort of sense that I did what I did and I can't, it's on video and I've done testimonies on it. And for anyone, I'd gladly share that testimony. Which is a page and a quarter or thereabouts. And it was fantastic. And I'd never met you in my life before earlier this year. Do you know what I mean? Like this, I'm not a plant or anything like that. I just ended up down there, which is all, had a great time. And thanks a million for the reputation you've given me to live up to. You always talk highly of me, and I thank you for that. And I would gladly share my experience with anyone in questionnaire. Like, I'd be gladly, I'm open to challenging from anyone that would say, what about this or what about that? And well, you Cobus, you know that I made it through just about, but I really feel I'd like to go back again and prove to myself that I actually did it. It's not terrible to have such doubt in yourself, even still, but that's the truth.
Because it's so amazing, Eugene, everything that happens is that it doesn't seem real because it's so powerful. And, and that week goes so fast. Eugene, I think, that's what it's about. If I just do a new share with everyone and just share it, if you think about doing the Firewalk, and you want to reach out to me or Anir, you can. But, there's this whole journey is that you're going to be part of a family. I just want to see where you're going to, you're not only going to get your Bauman certification, because the thing is, like, for those, Eugene, he came, he got all of this. He doesn't have to use it, because, he's other purposes. But for those who want to come, you're going to get an empowerment coaching certification. Even if you are a life coach, you will have the opportunity to either do it again or not do it. It's up to you, but you will get a life coach NLP practitioner certificate. Renier will give you an experience with Reiki 1, or if you've done Reiki 1, to do Reiki 2. You will get the Dottler art, that's art. If you want to go into that scene, become part of my academy, 12 months Zoom coaching, marketing, branding, 3 courses in a box. And you can be able to come and experience. You've just heard about Eugene. I will send out his testimonial as well, or if you want to reach out to him, he's on LinkedIn. But here's what a few people said, that one lady in the middle is now staying in Ireland, so Eugene, you must maybe connect with her and her boys. But they all 3 came to do the fit, and she said it's the greatest life-transforming workshop. My journey started with Think and Grow Rich, and this week was the ultimate part of my journey. Nothing compares to this fit, not even a quantum leap. It's in one phenomenal experience. Coming here, I felt heavy and I got my breakthrough, especially doing it with my boys. This was phenomenal. I'm proud to be on this journey. Will Butler there on the side that climbed Kili with me, he's actually on his way now to Everest Base Camp. But before we even got to Kili Kubis, we just been invited to join the fit. And 5 days I trained with him in the bush. I walked next to lions. I built enormous fires and mastered them every day. I did breathwork exercise with you. It was so divinely connected that I felt I was Jesus Christ himself. I met my I am. I pierced my own hand willingly, and through the pain, I walked on 250 meters of burning coals, 1/4 of a kilometer of fire. I walked on that, and I forgot what it felt like to be afraid. Jennifer says, what an awakening this was, the different, it stretches you. My coach, my friend recommended it. For Edward, grateful for Cobus and his team. This is for the whole family, gives you guidance and purpose, took me deeper and confronted my fears. I highly recommend this. Touch on mental, physical, and spiritual, the #1 training in the world. Keep doing. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to transform people's life, reach out to us. I just wanted to put this opportunity in front of you. Our next training is in May. So let me just see where it is. Firefit is calling you. Looking for the ultimate breakthrough. Let me see, where's my dates? I think it's just here in the beginning. I want to show you. There's 2 dates. There's one in May, in October. October is already almost fully booked. So if you're interested, May, we still have a lot of spaces left, but October, so if soon we will tell people that October is full as well. So if you want to come, you have to commit as soon as possible. Let me just see. Renier, do you have the dates with you now, as this is just taking a little bit longer to load? Let me ask you to unmute. Let's just check. Okay, it's loading. Firewalking is back.
I'm loading as well, so
oh, the internet is helping, so the legends are back. Photo. Okay, but it's the end of May for those who are interested to join, and the other one is the end of October. So everything is on the side. I just want to look at the date. So if you feel like coming there, it is May 21 to 27. Oh, beginning of October, the 1st to the 7th of October. So we are already at 50% capacity for October, and May we had about 30%. So if you are interested in coming, please let me know and contact us, and we can make it happen. We can also make special, if you and a friend wants to come, we can work out something, then you will just have to reach out to us. Or if you are more than 2 or 3 people and you want to combine, we can work out something special. For me, it's about empowering as many coaches as possible to go out and help us to reach millions and millions of people. Okay, so any questions in the group? If not, it is 8:28. I want to say thank you to Renier and Eugene. Thank you for you guys for sharing. Eugene, it was nice to see you. Apologies, I haven't gotten back to you. It's been quite running around, but somewhere this week I will give you a call. And the same with you, Renier. Okay, let me stop share. Let's want to see if there's any questions in the chat box. Anyone wants to know, keeping us in suspense, Sonia says. I would love to do the fit with you, Eugene. So she says, is there a certificate for this session? Ashwan, I can give you a certificate of attendance if you want to. I can just reach out and email me. I can let Darren know, so he can give you a certificate that you attended and you've been here. Sonia, thank you for awesomeness. Awesome, thanks. Arman, jy en Henny moet kom doen. Henny said he's interested, so talk to Henny. Your email, okay, let me give you my email. It's Darren@quivers.com. There it is for you, Aswan. Okay, anyone else have questions? Let me check. Salom say, yeah, Arman, let's make a plan. You guys come together. Thank you, Quivers and Ree. Want to be there in October. Awesome, Dana. So if you want to connect with us, pay a deposit. It's only 5,000 Rand to have a deposit, and you are connected. Let's empower you to go and change the world and impact your clients, impact those people that you are serving in this world. And if you're not sure, maybe it's time for you to start a business in coaching and in team building and training. And please reach out to us. Okay, there, Renier's contact details is also in the box, and I will give you mine as well if you want to reach out to me as well. And let's connect. Some of you already know Louis. Thank you for being here. Peter, nice to see you as well. Joanne, nice to see you. Ashwan, all the way from India, welcome. Ashwan, I've trained 3 people from India, so maybe it's time for you to come and join the Indian family. Kuben Mutli, nice to see you here. Thank you. Sonia, always nice. Kriti, my Daisy girl, nice to see you here as well. Where it is, Louis, get a heart. Lebo, nice to see you. Sean Mason, nice to see you. Sonia, you're looking beautiful. Nice to see you. Also, Firewalking lady. Thanks, Quivers. Yes, thank you. We'll appreciate encouragement. Thank you, Eugene. Okay, 1 minute. Anyone, any last comments in the chat box? Let me know. Krupa is here as well. Hello, Michael. Woohoo! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, bye everyone. Have a beautiful night. For those who are watching on Facebook, we'll go and look at the comments now. And soon we will do another Zoom call, and we're going to teach some new ideas and lessons that we've learned. Thank you for being here tonight. Love you all. Mwah. And till next time.